The paycheck lands at 8:17 in the morning. For a few seconds, your bank account looks like a person who has options. Then the month starts taking attendance, rent, car insurance, groceries, the card balance from the weekend you said would be cheap, the subscription you meant to cancel 3 months ago. By lunch, the number already looks smaller. By dinner, it feels like the paycheck never really belonged to you. And somewhere inside all of that, there's $500. Not hidden in one obvious place, scattered. A dinner here, a payment upgrade there, a phone, a trip, a cart, a night out, a nicer apartment, a car that makes the parking lot feel less embarrassing. $500 a month is strange because it is large enough to hurt and small enough to disappear. If you spend it, life looks normal. If you invest it, life feels worse before it feels better. That is why this number matters. Because $500 a month is where the future stops being a motivational quote and starts competing with your actual life. This is your life if you put $500 a month to work. Month 1. The missing $500. The first month does not feel powerful. It feels annoying. You move the money before you can negotiate with yourself. $500 leaves checking and goes somewhere quiet. An account with a clean interface, a little chart, a balance that looks too small to respect. Then real life starts asking for the money back. Your friend sends the restaurant link. Your coworker talks about a weekend trip. Your car makes a sound that was not there yesterday. You look at the investment account and feel almost offended. The money is technically still yours, but it no longer behaves like yours. You cannot tap it at the grocery store. You cannot wear it. You cannot show it in a photo. You cannot use it to make the weekend easier without breaking the small wall you just built. This is the first hidden rule. The beginning does not feel like wealth. It feels like a lifestyle downgrade with better branding. That is why so many people stop early. They are not reacting to the math. They are reacting to the silence, spending answers immediately, investing answers later. And later is hard to believe in when Friday night is already here. Month 6. The small number. By month 6, the money has started changing your calendar, not in a dramatic way. Nobody notices a new version of you walking into the room. But you notice the tiny pauses, the shirt you almost bought, then left in the cart, the apartment upgrade you looked at for 20 minutes, then closed, the car lease ad that made sense for about 8 seconds, until the monthly payment sounded too familiar. $500 becomes a kind of translator. It takes every small yes and asks what else it is trying to become. At first, this feels restrictive, like your life is getting narrower. You say no to things that people around you say yes to without thinking. You still go out, but you choose the cheaper place. You still buy things, but fewer of them feel automatic. You still want the visible life, the better jacket, the cleaner car, the room that looks like you've arrived. But now every visible upgrade has to sit across from an invisible one. That is the emotional trap of month 6. The people spending the money get proof tonight. You get proof later if you keep going long enough. And for a while that can make discipline feel almost embarrassing. Year 1. Too slow. After 1 year, you have sent $6,000 forward. That sentence sounds impressive until you open the account. The balance might be a little higher. It might be a little lower. Maybe the market had a good year. Maybe it had a strange one. Either way, most of the number is still you. Your skipped upgrades, your quiet transfers, your Sunday meal prep, your decision to let an older phone keep being fine. You expected the account to feel like progress. Instead, it feels like a receipt for restraint. This is where the old life makes its best argument. It says, look how much you gave up. It says, you could have lived more. It says, $6,000 did not change your life anyway. And in the first year, the old life has a point. $500 a month has not made you free. It has barely made you interesting. But something important has happened underneath the boredom. Your life has learned to function without money it used to absorb. That is not a chart yet. That is a new operating system. The account is still small, but the habit has survived rent, birthdays, repairs, pressure, boredom, and your own mood. At year 1, you are not buying wealth. You're buying proof that your future can receive money before the present spends it. Year 5. Not fake anymore. 5 years in, you have contributed $30,000. If the account has grown at a reasonable long-term pace, it might be somewhere around the mid-30,000s. The exact number moves. The feeling does too. Because now the balance is too large to dismiss. It's still not freedom. It is not a house. It is not retirement. It is not enough to quit everything and become a person with a linen shirt and opinions about slow mornings. But it is enough to change the temperature of an emergency. The transmission fails. Your company announces cuts. A medical bill arrives with the kind of envelope that makes you stand still before opening it. Before, a bad month could turn into a spiral. Now, a bad month is still bad, but it does not automatically own the next 6. That is when you notice the second hidden rule. Money does not have to make you rich before it starts making you harder to corner. At year 5, the account becomes a quiet object in the room. You do not talk about it much. You do not post it. But when life leans on you, something leans back. Year 10. Quiet leverage. After 10 years, $500 a month means $60,000 out of your own pockets. With time and growth, the account might be closer to 80 or 90,000. The number is still smaller than a dream house, smaller than the retirement headline you see online, but it is bigger than many forms of fear. You feel it at work first. The manager who used to ruin your whole week now ruins less of it. The meeting where someone speaks to you like your paycheck is a leash hits differently. You still need the job. You still need income. You still care about stability. But your entire life is no longer stacked on one direct deposit. That changes your posture. You ask one more question in the salary conversation. You take longer before accepting the bad offer. You stop laughing at jokes that are really warnings. You begin to understand that wealth can be bigger than buying things. Sometimes it is about being slightly less controllable. This is quiet leverage. No one claps when you get it. It does not arrive like a movie scene. It arrives as a pause before you say yes. And for many people, that pause is the first taste of financial power they have ever had. Year 20, the second timeline. At year 20, the numbers start looking almost unreal. You have contributed $120,000. With a steady long-term return, the account could be around $260,000. This is the point where the younger version of you would have stared at the screen and gone quiet, because the growth is now larger than the sacrifice. The money you put in matters, but the years have started adding their own money beside it. This changes how the past feels. The old car you kept for 2 extra years, the apartment you did not upgrade the moment you could afford it, the vacations you took carefully, the random spending you let die without a memorial. None of those choices looked heroic at the time. Most of them looked boring. Some looked awkward. But now they have gathered into something with weight. At year 20, the account becomes a second timeline. In one timeline, the $500 became nicer months. In the other, it became a private reserve of future decisions. A down payment you're not desperate for. A business risk you can survive. A job break that does not become panic. A family problem that does not immediately become debt. This is where investing stops feeling like a number on a screen and starts feeling like a room. A place you can stand inside when the rest of life gets loud. Year 30 and beyond. Time. 30 years after the first transfer, the account tells a story your younger self could not feel. You contributed $180,000. With decades of compounding, the balance could be somewhere around $600,000. At 40 years, under the same kind of assumption, it could cross $1 million. The exact number is never the point. Markets change. Taxes matter. Life interrupts. Some months you pause. Some years you earn less. Some seasons take more from you than any spreadsheet predicted. But the shape of the story stays visible. $500 a month was never only $500. It was a repeated claim on your future attention. At first it cost comfort. Then it cost status. Then it cost some easy yeses. Later, it started giving things back. Less fear, more patience, cleaner choices, a different kind of confidence. By this point, the question is no longer what $500 can buy this month. The question is how many months of your life the old transfers have already bought back. That is the part you do not understand at the beginning. You think you are choosing between spending and investing. What you are really choosing between is 2 versions of time. One version looks better right away. The other waits quietly until it becomes hard to ignore. The other side of $500 is not a perfect life. You still make mistakes. You still have expensive months. You still feel the pressure to look like you're doing better than you are. But now, every month has a small door inside it. You can spend the money where everyone can see it, or you can send it somewhere quiet and let time become your partner. For a long while, the quiet choice looks smaller. That is why it works on so few people. It gives no instant applause, no upgraded identity, no proof that anyone else can recognize from across the room. Then one day, years later, the same $500 has changed shape. It is not a missing dinner. It is not the car you did not upgrade. It is not the apartment with the better lobby. It is a boundary. It is a breath. It is a future version of you, with slightly more room to decide. And that may be what the money was really buying the whole time.